You're listening to That Home Loan Hub. I'm Zibuni Solimova, here to make home loans and property investing simple, smart and stress-free. Let's get you closer to your property dreams. OCR, our favorite three letters. That's probably the most key word in our podcast. We often talk about OCRs. Hello, James.
Hello.
Official cash rate is about to be reviewed, I believe, end of this month.
Yep.
And I read ANZ report.
Yep.
And it said that they think it's not going to change. What are your thoughts?
I totally agree with that based on the commentary that I'm hearing from various economists, that we've got a situation where if they were to put interest rates up, it would just kill the economy. The OCR up, it would just kill the economy. And, they're not going to want to do that. Putting the OCR up is not going to bring oil prices down. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Because they're worried about inflation.
I was about to say inflation is on the rise.
Yeah. Inflation is potentially on the rise with oil prices going up, but by using the OCR to put up interest rates, it's not gonna do anything to bring the oil price down. So it's kind of a thing they don't have any control over.
I believe Anna Brennan came out and said, look, it's just going to be a short-term pain. We're not going to have a knee-jerk reaction to it. We're just going to keep OCR down. We're just going to try to persevere.
Yep.
It should blow over. It should be fine.
Yep.
But the banks are still rising interest rates.
They're all over the shop, eh? Because I thought I saw ASB lower theirs.
Yeah, I think this morning something popped up that they dropped the 18 months one.
Yeah.
But all the other ones are still higher. So at one point we got below 5% for the 3-year rate.
Yep.
And I remember saying to people, the moment it's below 5% for 3-year rate, just fix it.
We got a good one. I got some clients, a good 3-year one. They just got it just in time before Westpac put theirs up.
Yeah.
And we had to actually, we had to prove it that we did it on time.
Yeah.
Because they weren't really going to go for it. But
yeah. So, now it's sort of lingering around 5.19, 5.2. Yeah. So I guess the real issue is for New Zealanders trying to understand how it's all linked together. And you pointed out, right, raising OCR is not going to help us elevate oil prices.
Yeah.
They're not really fully connected in this instance here.
Yeah, well, that's coming from overseas. The oil price has been driven by something overseas, the conflict in that between Iran and America and so forth. So, and that's causing inflation back here because of oil prices. And that's slowly going to, if this carries on, it's slowly going to transfer into food prices and stuff like that, because petrol is used to drive products around.
Yeah.
So it makes it more expensive to get the groceries to the various places. So, but that's more of a medium to long term impact. So at the moment, it's really just the oil prices that are causing the inflation.
What are your thoughts on people that are thinking of quitting job because they think that driving to work is more expensive, and then therefore, if they quit a job and go on benefit, they might save more money?
My initial reaction is that is a really stupid thing to do, because this could be a short-term thing.
Yeah.
This could be a short-term problem. Why would you give up your work, the one means of getting you ahead in your life for your future or your family's future to go on a benefit?
But you'd be surprised how many people are out there contemplating this idea, And when you actually put the numbers together, you don't get much on the benefit. And I know the government announced that they will give, $50 extra to help out those low-earning families. But again, like that $50, is it going to make much difference?
It's a very short-term thing. I mean, perhaps look for a different job that's closer. Might be a better alternative. I mean, you can't, this is the way I think about it. You can't think, if you go onto a benefit, you're limited as to what you're going to be able to do. And sort of the benefits don't go up in value a lot, how much you get paid. And you're relying on somebody else to provide for you. That's okay for a short amount of time, but I just don't really get that kind of thinking. I mean, people can do it, I guess, but I wouldn't be really very happy if I had clients that were doing that.
Yeah.
I'd be really strongly against it.
But it also affects their mortgage applications. We can't help them as much. I mean, I do have a couple of clients at the moment on benefit that have got across the line, but again, they had much higher deposits. and they were only borrowing, 300K, 350K. So it wasn't like they were borrowing $1 million house. I guess with the OCR this month, we'll just wait and see what's going to happen. It's not going to change. Hopefully the banks will calm down a bit and not give in to the whole stress of, oh my God, the world is ending and we're just going to carry on as normal. But again, guys, just remember 18 months ago, we were sitting at 6.5% interest rates.
Yep.
We're sitting at 5 now.
Yeah.
We're still better off than what we were. And the house prices are much down as well.
Affordability is the best it's been for a long, long time, especially if you're in our region, Wellington, Kāpiti. Prices are off 30% of their peaks. So that's, from during COVID. So, look, we get stuck in the short-termism. What's going on? We've got what do we call it? There's a bias about it's called like a relativity bias or something like that. I can't remember the exact word. But you get so caught up in what's happening now. Mm-hmm. You don't see what's what's happened historically or what's happened in the future. You're just in the now, and this is all you can think about. But, these things do come and go. Take a long-term perspective on what you're doing, medium to long-term perspective. What is it that you want to achieve? And then, the OCR, I don't think that's going to be moving anywhere for a while. I really don't. But we watch the banks, because the banks try to sort of outmaneuver the Reserve Bank. If they think that the OCR is going to get moved up,
Sometimes they react a bit too soon.
Yeah, that's right.
But then we do see the reaction afterwards. So if you are hanging out on your floating rates and, wondering what to do, just reach out to us. We should be able to talk about what's relevant to you, regardless of what's going on in the world. We need to talk about what are your goals?
Yeah.
What are your aspirations? You might want to sell a house in 6 months' time. So, worrying about 3-year rate is none of the concern for you, because if you're going to sell the house and move to Australia, who cares? But if you are planning to have a baby and go off work for the next 5 years, maybe then the 5-year rate is a good option for you, which is still in a good spot, like 5.5, I think, for a 5-year rate. So, what you can think about is OCR will happen, will come and go. It happens 6 times a year. Things happen around it. Yep. The banks move rates, et cetera. But what do you need to do for your particular situation? That's what I always come back to. Yep,
your goal. And that really helps if we know what your goals are, because then we can really help you. And don't get caught up in the headlines that you see every day in the news.
Yeah.
That's just, we work behind the scenes. So you see those headlines all the time. It's always dramatic. Dramatic?
Dramatic.
Not traumatic?
Not traumatic. Well, could be traumatic as well.
But, talk to us because we've seen all that stuff, right?
Exactly.
And plus, there are some lenders with some really good cashbacks as well.
I was about to say, my gosh, one of the lenders came out and they did similar to what ANZ did before Christmas, but they're offering 1.25% cashback for eligible customers. So we're not going to tell you who it is. No. We're going to keep it a secret because we want you to call us.
Absolutely.
So call us if you heard this, 1.25% cashback for the eligible clients. If you think you're eligible, give us a call, but you don't know if you're eligible if you don't call us.
Absolutely.
It's a bit of a trap there. But also tell your friends, and we love when we get referrals. We love it. It's so much more fun when we answer the phone and someone says, oh, someone referred you to us.
Yep.
Makes us so happy. Like, think about yourself and your business. If someone refers you someone, it's just so much easier to talk to that person.
We do a little dance, don't we? Little jig.
We do.
Not together, individually.
So, to summarize this conversation really is OCR will be reviewed at the end of this month. The news is basically it shouldn't change. The rates hopefully will stay the same as the banks, maybe go back down again. And we just need to control what we can control.
Yep.
Done.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Cool.
And that's a wrap on That Home Loan Hub. Don't forget to hit subscribe and join me next time for more property tips and tricks. Your next smart move starts here.